No matter what they do, your thoughts keep circling back to them. It's as if they've left a mark on your heart, one that refuses to fade no matter how much time has passed. They've started noticing how much you've grown recently, how you've evolved into a more independent, self-assured person. You're no longer the same individual they once took for granted, and they can see that now. With every step you take toward your personal growth, they are filled with regret. They wish they hadn't been so careless, that they had treated you with the respect and attention you deserved. The realization that they haven't been fair to you weighs heavily on their mind, and they're starting to see how their lack of seriousness toward this connection might have pushed you away. It's becoming clearer to them that they were too casual, too complacent, and too selfish when they should have been nurturing what the two of you had. Now, they are facing the consequences of their actions. What they once did to you is coming back to them in ways they didn't expect. They feel a deep sense of loss and confusion, watching from the sidelines as you focus on your life, your goals, and your future without them. It stings them to see you thriving while they're stuck wondering if you think of them, or if you miss them as much as they miss you. As the days pass, they are slowly realizing that you were always meant to be together. You were the one who made sense in their chaotic world, the one who understood them like no one else did. But in their arrogance and immaturity, they allowed their own foolish behavior to ruin everything. They ignored your feelings, dismissed your needs, and treated the connection as though it would always be there, no matter what. Now, they're realizing just how wrong they were. They know they acted foolishly, and they're starting to understand the weight of their mistakes. This realization is isolating them from the people around them. They feel trapped in their own thoughts, constantly thinking about what they should do to fix things, to make things right between the two of you. They're wondering how they can win back your heart, how they can show you that they've grown and changed into someone who truly deserves you. The thought of reaching out to you and proving that they've matured keeps them awake at night. They don't want to lose you, but they know that winning you back won't be easy. They know they need to prove, through actions and not just words, that they're a different person now. Your absence is causing them pain, and that pain only seems to deepen with time. It's not just the loneliness or the longing that hurts them, it's the fear of losing you forever. The anxiety that comes with knowing they may never get another chance is overwhelming. They feel like they're on the verge of losing something truly special, something they will never be able to replace. This connection that you shared wasn't just another fleeting relationship for them, it was a once-in-a-lifetime bond. You were their true love, the person who saw the best in them, even when they couldn't see it in themselves. And now, they are terrified that they've let that slip through their fingers. They're desperate to turn things around, to prove to you that they're no longer the same person who took you for granted. They've spent a lot of time reflecting on their actions and thinking about the things they should have done differently. They want you to see that they've grown into someone who can support you, love you, and be the partner you need. They don't want to be haunted by the idea of losing you for the rest of their life. They wonder if you feel the same, if you think about them too, or if you've already moved on. The idea that you might have already found peace without them is bittersweet. On one hand, they want you to be happy and fulfilled, but on the other, they can't bear the thought of not being part of that happiness. They hope that deep down, you still feel the connection that they do, and that you'll give them a chance to make things right. Your person can't deny that the bond you two shared was unique. It was powerful, meaningful, and something they didn't fully appreciate at the time. Now, as they sit in their loneliness, they're consumed by the thought of winning you back, of showing you that this connection is worth saving. They don't want to lose you forever because they know that you are their true love, the one person they can't imagine life without. And that thought is what keeps them going, even when the future feels uncertain. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, and I miss you more than words can express. It's strange how the mind works, how certain thoughts or feelings bring someone to the forefront, even when you're not actively trying to focus on them. For me, that person is you. Recently, I've been hit with this burst of inspiration, this intense drive to do more, to be more, and to push beyond the limits I thought existed for myself. And every time I feel this spark, my mind somehow leads me back to you. It's not just that you're on my mind, but everything I've been contemplating recently seems to have traces of the conversations we've had. Some of the ideas I'm working on, the things I've been pondering late at night, they all feel connected to you. It's as if our talks planted seeds in my mind, and now, those seeds are finally beginning to grow. It's an incredible feeling, but also one that fills me with gratitude for your presence in my life, even if things didn't turn out as we once imagined. I realize now how deeply you impacted me in ways I couldn't have understood back then. And so, I want to take a moment to thank you. Truly, thank you. You continue to inspire me in ways that are hard to describe. It's not just about motivation or ambition, it's about the way you made me more aware of myself, my thoughts, my feelings, and the world around me. I've never experienced this kind of clarity before, and I owe much of that to you. The beauty of it all is that you didn't push me into this state of awareness. You didn't force me to change or to see things your way. You simply guided me, showed me a different path, and let me walk down it in my own time. You didn't take my hand and drag me, you offered it to me, and I chose to reach out. That choice has made all the difference. You gave me this gift of motivation, this fire inside of me to become a better version of myself, and I didn't even realize it at the time. It's funny how sometimes the most profound changes happen so quietly, so gradually, that we don't even notice them until we look back and see how far we've come. You sparked something in me that I didn't know was there, something I didn't know I needed. And now, I find myself striving for more, not in a material sense, but in a deeper, more meaningful way. I want to be better, not just for myself, but for the people around me. I want to live a life that reflects the potential you saw in me. Before you came into my life, I never truly realized how special or important I was. I always saw myself as someone just going through the motions, doing what was expected, but not really believing in my own significance. You changed that. You made me see myself in a new light. You helped me understand that I have worth, that I matter, and that I am capable of so much more than I ever gave myself credit for. For that, I will always be grateful. I feel incredibly fortunate to have crossed paths with someone like you. It's not every day that you meet someone who changes your life in such a meaningful way, and I count myself lucky to have had that experience with you. That being said, I also can't help but feel regret. I regret not allowing myself to be more emotionally vulnerable with you when I had the chance. Looking back, I see how guarded I was, how afraid I was to open up and let you see the real me. I thought that by keeping my walls up, I was protecting myself. But in reality, I was keeping you at a distance, even though you were the person I should have let in. I now understand that vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a strength. And I wish I had been brave enough to show you that side of me when we were together. The truth is, I know now that you are my person. I didn't fully realize it then, but I do now. You are the one who made me see things differently, who made me feel things I hadn't felt before. And while I can't change the past, I can honor the impact you've had on my life by continuing to grow, by continuing to strive to be the man you saw in me. I may not have said it enough when I had the chance, but you mean the world to me. And even though we may be in different places now, please know that you will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you for being the person who helped me see myself in a way I never thought possible. You will always inspire me, and for that, I am forever grateful. Your partner has been reflecting deeply on your relationship and the many ways in which they've come to miss you. It's not just your presence they long for, it's the way you communicate with them and how effortlessly you explain things. They miss the way your words carry meaning, the thoughtful manner in which you express yourself, and how you bring clarity to complicated situations. There's something special about the way you approach life, how composed you are in handling everything that comes your way, and your partner can't help but feel proud of you for that. You inspire them with your confidence, and they find themselves admiring the strength and certainty with which you manage each challenge that crosses your path. They've realized that they want to have a deeper conversation with you, a heartfelt dialogue that addresses the emotions they've kept locked away for so long. In looking back, they understand that the operation, or the breakdown, that happened in your relationship wasn't your fault at all. They want you to know that it was their own fears and insecurities that led to them pulling away. At the time, they were terrified of being vulnerable and opening their heart to someone. It wasn't that they doubted you specifically, but rather, they doubted their own ability to handle the intensity of their emotions. They were overwhelmed by feelings they didn't fully understand and feared that if they shared these emotions with you, you might not grasp just how deeply they run or how sensitive they truly are. They didn't know how to communicate the complexity of their emotional and sensual feelings, so instead of trying, they held back. They admit now that their retreat was an act of cowardice, a result of their fear rather than anything you did wrong. They've come to understand that it was easier for them to put up walls than to take the risk of being truly seen. However, they now recognize that those walls only serve to keep them from a meaningful connection, not protect them from harm. In hindsight, they see you differently, in a way they didn't allow themselves to before. They've come to realize that you are, in fact, the right person for them, the one who not only understands them but also helps them grow. You've always been able to see through the surface and truly grasp who they are, guiding them in ways they didn't even realize they needed. Whether it was through your honest feedback, your careful listening, or your willingness to be direct when necessary, you helped them see where they were doing things right and where they were making mistakes. You provided them with a sense of direction and clarity, which they had been missing in their life. Your partner now sees you as a deeply authentic person. What they appreciate most about you is your honesty. There's no pretense, no fakeness, no sugar-coated words just to make people feel good or to impress others. This authenticity, your realness, is what sets you apart. They respect you for being true to who you are, for standing by your principles, and for never compromising on your values just to fit in or win approval. You speak from the heart, and that sincerity is something they've come to cherish. It's this very reason that they've grown to admire you even more. They now understand that you were never someone who was going to judge them for their feelings or make them feel small for being vulnerable. Instead, you've always been someone who would listen with compassion and understanding. They regret not realizing this sooner, but they are grateful that they see it now. You've taught them that being open and honest about their emotions isn't a weakness, but rather a strength. Through your example, they've learned that true connection comes from being genuine, from sharing the deepest parts of yourself without fear. Your partner values your words and your opinions more than ever. They see now that you've always been there to guide them, not control them, and they appreciate how much wisdom and insight you bring to every conversation. They feel fortunate to have someone like you in their life, someone who challenges them to be better while accepting them as they are. Your partner wants you to know that they miss you deeply, not just for the person you are, but for the way you've impacted their life. They understand now that you were never the source of their fears, their own insecurities were. And in you, they've found someone who can help them navigate those insecurities, someone who is patient, kind, and above all, real. They look forward to the opportunity to have that deep conversation with you, to open up in ways they couldn't before, and to express just how much they value and appreciate the incredible person you are.